Welcome to RVB and Friends. If you like this video or any of our others, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Remy, and here's my thoughts on the Champion Fighter in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. If you're looking to play a fighter that excels in close combat and resembles the pit-fighting gladiator that we sometimes think of when we see a fighter, then prepare to be disappointed by the Champion Fighter. The Champion subclass is found on page 72 of the Player's Handbook. Being the most simple of all of the fighter subclasses, the Champion archetype chooses to increase the strength of core mechanics instead of adding new ones. Starting when you choose the subclass at 3rd level, you gain the improved critical feature, allowing you to critically strike on a roll of both 19 and 20. This feature is extremely useful for the fighter as they make multiple attacks a turn, either through your action surge you have at level 2, or later on with extra attack at level 5. There's not much else to say besides that it's a solid passive ability for the fighter. At 7th level, you gain the Remarkable Athlete ability, which allows you to add half of your proficiency to strength, dexterity, or constitution checks that you don't already have proficiency in. Additionally, you can add your strength modifier to the number of feet you cover with a running long jump. And although the bonus to the strength, dexterity, and constitution rolls are useful, they pale in comparison to the other fighter subclasses' level 7 abilities. If you're playing a fighter at lower levels, hitting the 7th level milestone should be a key strength booster to your class. However, on the Champion Fighter, it just doesn't feel impactful enough to call this a good ability. Similar to improved critical, it's a nice utility to have, but it's nothing to write home about. When you reach level 10, the Champion gets to choose an additional fighting style. Having 2 fighting styles is more helpful than it initially seems. For example, a sword and board fighter, a sword and shields adventurer wouldn't have to choose between dueling or defense. Once you hit 10th level with Champion, you can choose both and have the +2 for damage and +1 to your armor class. It's a great passive ability that makes your character stronger, but once again, it's not something to be excited about. When you reach 15th level, your improved critical you received at level 3 upgrades to superior critical, which allows your attacks to crit on an 18, 19, or 20 on an attack roll. Superior critical may not seem extremely powerful, given that it's a feature gained at 15th level, which is very late in the game. But because the fighter at this stage of the game is allowed to make 3 attacks per turn or 6 with action surge, the chances that one of those attacks are going to be a critical is much, much higher, making this ability more useful than it seems at face value. Finally, at 18th level, the Champion Fighter gains the Survivor feature, allowing the fighter to regain hit points equal to 5 plus their Constitution modifier, as long as you have less than half of your total and you are not at 0. This is a great feature to keep you alive and keep you going in a fight, especially if you don't have a healer or you don't have a strong one in your party. Self-sustain is important for any sort of martial class, and having this be a completely passive feature is extremely strong. The Champion Fighter overall is advertised as being the intro to D&D class, so it's made to be simple intentionally. However, for players that know how to play and or want interesting characters, the Champion Fighter is the least interesting option. Additionally, because the Champion is a branch off of the fighter's subclass tree, it means you're going to be primarily based in combat, meaning the subclass would be more combat focused. However, unfortunately for the Champion Fighter, it's outclassed in almost every regard by the Battlemaster subclass. Overall, the Champion Fighter isn't a bad subclass by any means, but without a doubt, it's the most boring.